Hello, friends. Today we are going to talk about transitional credits. Now, you'll be thinking why, after 3 years, we are talking about transitional credits, where the due date already got over in 2017. So, what is the necessity for us to talk about transitional credits now? Well, it is very important to know because of the recent action by the government in this matter. And if this matter is seriously followed, it is very dangerous in future if the same principles and the same action is taken by the government in other matters as well. It will be a big doom for our country. With this background, I would like to take this forward. As everybody is aware, GST was introduced in July 2017. Many laws got subsumed in GST. Now, what were the major of the laws were excise, service tax, VAT, to name a few. So all these laws got merged and subsumed into one GST. Now, what was the necessity in bringing GST? You can say the main four reasons we can highlight is: one is there were multiplicity of tax laws. So we have to reduce, each industry has to comply with so many laws. So all these 16, 17 laws were merged and one law was made. So the multiplicity of laws got reduced into one law. That was one reason. The second was the cascading effect or the double taxation. So the credit of one law could not be set off against credit of another law. So excise cannot be set off against VAT. VAT could not be set off against service tax. So this disadvantage of having different acts or laws was corrected in GST. Third advantage and the need was to have a common market. Since every state had their own VAT, only excise and service tax was a central law, and every state had their VAT. So companies having multiple business in multiple places had to comply with so many laws. So having a common marketplace and a one GST was one more idea or the advantage of having GST. And the last but not the least is make the GST simple with less tax rates. So with these four bare minimum requirements, GST was brought in. Now GST was brought in from 1st July 2017. Till 30th June 2017, you had the existing laws, you had existing credits. So there has to be a smooth transition from the existing regime to the GST regime. So you had existing credits also in the old law, where VAT, you will be having VAT credits, excise service tax credits, which had to be carried forward to GST without any problem, so that the taxpayers get the benefit of the credit in GST regime as well. Apart from the credits, what was available in the credit ledgers, even the stocks, what the taxpayers had, it had element of excise where you were not registered in excise, but you had the element of excise in the stock. They also, with a certain percentage of the credits, they could have transferred it to the new regime. Now, how these credits could have been transferred? So there was a section 140 under CGST Act, which enabled the taxpayer to take the credit, shift the credit from the old regime to the new regime. Rule 117 made the procedures how this transitional credit will happen. So they notified form Tran 1, which the rule 117 told has to be filed within 90 days from the appointed date, that is 90 days from 1st July 2017. So you had to file Tran 1 before 30th September 2017. So as you all are aware, when the GST was implemented, the systems were in shambles. The systems was not ready. Even the Tran 1 form also came very late. So because of the inefficiencies of the portal and the government, the Tran 1 got extended till December last week, that is 27 December 2017. Though the date got extended, there were enough problems in the website, in the portal. and many people or many taxpayers could not file their Tran 1 in time. There were many petitions filed with the government, with the courts, but the government was very adamant. But finally, they gave up and they allowed to file Tran 1 till 31st March 2020. But for the cases only where they had technical difficulties. Now, what do you mean by technical difficulties? Nowhere it's defined. So you have to go to the officer, convince him that I had a technical difficulty, show all the proof, show all the screenshots, whatever details you had to go provide in front of the officers, and if the officer agreed, accepted, then only the Tran 1 was could have been filed or the credit could have been received. So it was left with the mercy and whims of the officers. Now, why this credit? A taxpayer had to struggle to get these credits. It is his own credit which was lying in the old regime. He is just asking that credit to be carried forward to GST, where there is, so that there is no cascading effect. It is like, for example, you had an FD in the bank and the bank got merged with one more bank. Now the other bank tells you to file a form before so and so date to transfer the FD to the merged bank or new bank. Because of your preoccupations or some other work, you could not file the form. That doesn't mean you lose the FD permanently. That FD is yours. Just because you could not file a form in time, that doesn't mean you lose that FD. The similar logic works in credits as well. There may be many reasons why a Tran 1 could not have been filed by the SSC or the taxpayer. The main reason is the technical glitches. The website, the portal was not ready. So there were practically technical glitches where the Tran 1 could not have been filed. One more reason may be the new law. GST is a reform which happened in our country, and many of the taxpayers or the industry felt it difficult to understand it initially. So maybe people may not be aware they have to file, or they wanted to file, they could not file it because they didn't understand it. So finally what happened? Taxpayers could not file Tran 1. So what was the last option left to them? They had to go to the court. They had to knock the door of the court. Across the courts in India, petitions were filed to reopen the online filing or manual filing. The main contention of everybody was Article 300A of our Constitution, which says very clearly a taxpayer cannot be deprived of his property. So credit is his property. No law can deprive the taxpayer of the credits which he has got. And the good news was many courts allowed the credits. As far as 9 high courts in India, they favored giving the credit to the SSC, except barring one Bombay High Court, which ruled against the SSC. Most of the high courts allowed the credits to be allowed and given in the new regime. Recent High Court judgment very clearly instructed the government to open up online Tran 1 form and gave SSC time till 30th June 2020 to file the Tran 1 form, not only for the SSCs who had technical problems, but everybody who could not file. That was a good news for all the taxpayers, and immediately in the social media, the messages started floating, file Tran 1 immediately. Now, what a sensible government at this time will do? When there is a pandemic, this situation where industries are not doing well, they should have just allowed the industry time till 30th June to file Tran 1. They would have just allowed it. And they should have followed the instructions of the High Court. Now, what our government did? They issued a notification number 43 on 16th May 2020. Now, what was this notification? This notification amended Section 140, which gave the right to the taxpayer to transfer is credits. They amended section 140 and brought a time limit to claim the credit. And this amendment what was retrospectively amended from 1st July 2017. Now look at the fun. They amended it now and made the retrospective effect from 1st July 2017. So whatever ruling favor High Court gave to the SSE was put in the dustbin with this one single amendment. So this with this one stroke, the right of the taxpayer was taken away. Now what is this? What is the main object of GST? The main object of GST is simplification, giving credit, avoiding double taxation. And our government is making all effort to deny the credit to the taxpayers who owns this credit. And especially during this time when all the industry is suffering, this was the best gift they would have given to the industry. And what message you are sending to the outside world? When we are telling make in India, and this is the time when industries have to come to India, they can establish their industries in India. This is the message we are giving it to the foreign investors. The habit of retrospective amendments is very dangerous. In future, if this continues, all the court rulings in favor of SSE will be nullified when the government amends their law just to put that court law in abeyance. Still the time is there. I think if government wants, they can issue a notification and allow Tran 1 to be filed before 30th June. If this is not realized now, it will be too late, and we can see taxpayers losing trust in doing business in India. So now what are the options left with the taxpayers? Even though government doesn't bring a notification allowing 30th June to file your Tran 1, what are the options? One option is definitely filing a writ petition in High Court. That definitely is going to happen. We can see a lot of writ petitions being filed. The second option is file a manual Tran 1. Take a credit in your 3B. Immediately reverse it under protest and send a letter to your jurisdictional assessing officer telling you have taken the credit and you have reversed it, and whenever there is a favorable judgment, you will take the credit back. I think this is the option which the SSE can take now, whoever has not filed the Tran 1. Before closing, I request the bureaucrats and the government to understand the difficulties faced by the trade and be a support to them and not create blockages in doing business. I think if that is done, we can see the businesses flourish. Thank you very much. God bless.